Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today. So starting off with Euro USD as usual, and we had a classic inverse head and shoulders break, retest, and target hit. So target was up here at 108.648. For all intents and purposes on the higher time frame, trend is still down. I wouldn't want to be jumping in long over here, but wait for pullbacks to see what's going to happen. So let's just get down to the hour because that's where you need to be paying attention to. So as I said to you yesterday, you had this head and shoulders looking for a pullback onto it, and you can see we had the pullback and a solid move up. Target hit very quickly and then just sort of consolidated. Important things here on the hour. Firstly, moving average crossover. We're still below the 155, so we need to get above that. But look at my oscillators, they've eased off quite nicely. This could very well be the start of an uptrend. There is your trend line. So any retest of that trend line is an opportunity to buy. So there is an opportunity here to come back, for it to come back at 108.113 for an opportunity to buy into this and move to the upside. Just be very wary that on the higher time frames, trend is still down. You've got all these tails here. Not so much at this side, but over here, this is where price will bounce. So any move higher, this is where it's going to happen. I'm looking for a higher high, which means we need to take out this high here from last week. So at the moment, it's kind of poised. It could go either way, to be honest. It could reverse off to the downside or move back the upside. So I think the play yesterday played out pretty well. I just want to get the 15-minute just to see whether we had. So you can see there is my pullback onto this level here. You can see inside bar, pin bar, inside bar, moving averages all pointing up, all bouncing around at this level. This was a fairly strong opportunity to take a trade here with a stop there. So 167 point for 450 point gain on the 15 minutes. So nice intraday trade that. Just switching back to what's happening at the moment, I suspect you should be looking for some structure. There is a bit of a gap here, so don't be too surprised if we pull back to this area here at 108.113. Pull back to there just to close the gap, and then another attempt to move higher. So pay attention to what happens in the early session this morning, because it could be another sign of a little bit more dollar weakness at the moment. Moving on to US dollar Japanese yen, nothing's really changed here. No real trade at the moment. You can see we've bounced off. We try to find some support here. It didn't quite work out. And if I break down to the hour, you can see we dropped below it. Pretty much a red day yesterday on this. This morning has been a bit of a gain. So just adjust your levels. You see there's a double bottom here. No, should we rather say it's a triangle, or a cup and handle, or even a head and shoulders. There's a shoulder, head, shoulder, baseline that, or neckline. So pay attention to this. So we find support here and we stay here, then I would expect us to move up with the current trend. But if you just look at what's going on in Euro USD, it could be a very strong possibility of us breaking this, moving down to the next level, which is a gap down here. That one is a sit on hands for me. I don't really trust that. British pound Japanese yen is also sit on hands. A similar kind of picture here. We've got a nice big engulfing bar here, but no follow through. Trend is up. We're far from the moving averages. Oscillators are all overbought. Not really keen in jumping in on this pair at the moment. And you can see could be a lower high forming here. So a nice big engulfing bar. There's the first high. I'd want to wait for the third candlestick to close lower, and that would give me a fractal up here, which would basically then mean we have a fractal confirmed sort of lower high, and also the oscillators easing off. We're sort of going to cross over and move to the downside. So that is the plan there, but obviously the only way to trade this successfully is to wait for a break of yesterday's low, because that would start giving us a lower low, and wait for the pullback, and then obviously you look for the reversal. So at the moment the trend is up. You should be looking to buy. I'm just reluctant to buy when I see structure like that, so sit on hands as well. Lastly, Euro British Pound. So we did bounce up beyond what we were looking at. I was looking at this level yesterday for a pullback, 083198. We got quite far beyond that. It does look like a bit of a flag forming. This trend line is critical. It's just drawed in, and I'll explain to you now why. There you can see it's sort of a grind attempt to break through the structure here, which failed, engulfing inside bar, not quite off the level, or even off any of the other levels that are inside here. So it basically, went beyond that. Typical of a volatile day, and that was big up, big down, big up, big down, big confusion. So you're looking for shorts, to be honest, and for me, that is the structure we need to wait to break. But because you've got the trend line here as well, I would be a little bit cautious. So London breakout strategy, pretty much. And if I just adjust this one, okay, so there's the first swing high of the day. Here's the current low, so this is my range here. So I'm looking for a break to the upside of 083057 at this stage, for a move back up to 083198 and looking for a rejection off there. Or alternatively, I'm looking for a break of 082960 at this stage. Obviously we need to wait for the first 7 1-hour bars, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 2 more to go. So wait for that. If you get lower, then just move this thing lower. I would prefer to see it lower because that would come down to the bottom on the trend line here. And then it's a clear break of the trend line and bounce, then we are short. So this to me is settling quite nicely. Yesterday was a bit of confusion. The day before was confusion as well. But confusion normally carries on for a few days, and then we have a rejection. And this range bar here is just a sign of complete confusion. You get a crossover here. It's pretty much a fairly strong indication that we have a flag brewing, and if the flag does break, we have a pretty strong move to downside on offer. Now bear in mind, here is massive weekly support here. I keep saying it, so don't expect it to happen without a fight. And you can see there is a gap, and that is still a wide open target at the moment. Okay, so anyway, you're probably well versed to get your levels in on the hour and then watch sort of the 15-minute for some kind of structure. Wasn't really any structure happening there yesterday, but could very well be something brewing at the moment. Pay very close attention to this pair of the 4-hour watch anyway. Anyway, that's it for me. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.